Hello people, this is Power here to review the Ultraman Z DX Ultra Metal Gamma Future set. Well, in full, it's the Ultra Metal Ultraman Z Gamma Future set, but just shortening it for the sake of myself. Obviously, this is the set of metals that consist of Tiga, Dyna, and Gaia to create this third form of Z. And just to verify it, this is Gaia V2. And here's the back, which doesn't really have much, and as you can tell right away, it's just this simple package. It's like half the size of the Ultra Metal and Axis card sets. So let's get right to this. So here we have the metals out. Obviously, we just look at them individually. So here we have Tiga. Obviously, background being purple, indicating his LED. He's the one with the trans stamp because he's the first one. Dyna. Interestingly enough, he's yellow for his background. Because typically he would be, he would typically be blue. But they decided to make him yellow this time for diversity's sake. And here is Gaia V2, as you can tell from the black. And interesting, again, just like Dyna, they actually changed his LED color to red, which is an interesting color choice for Gaia, because just like Dyna, he would typically be, typically he would be the one that's yellow, but again, red's pretty interesting for Gaia. So let's get the Z riser. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the Riku card because when I insert these metals within the Z riser with the Riku, so as you can tell, with Jeed, because Riku doesn't have a fusion with these three, he will just play the transformations for each respective one. So that's what I'm going to do for now on, just to cut down on time. Obviously, you want like the actual individual sounds with the accurate access card, then watch the demo. But interesting things I want to note. Just like Orb Origin, how it just says Orb when you scan it, but then it'll say the full name. Tiga and Dyna for the first time actually say out their like main full like names for the main forms. So obviously Tiga says multi-type, and then Dyna is flash type. Gaia, surprisingly, is typically with Gaia they verify or they specify like, oh, this is V1 or V2, but this time around they're just saying it's Gaia, so that's actually really interesting. So there you get the respective finishers for Tiga, Dyna, and Gaia. Obviously the finisher for Tiga multi-type is Superion, Coulson. Dyna's for Flash types is Solgent Coulson. Gaia's, I think, might be a new one. I don't remember it because it goes on a bit longer than what I remember it to be, at least from the orb ring. And I think the Photon stream? I don't remember. Anyways, now we're going to use the hierarchy card to actually access the form. So there we have the transformation for Ultraman Z Gamma Future, which I really like that. I really like how slow tempoed it is. It's really relaxing and soothing. I should actually probably do the attacks. Obviously, hold. Now for the finisher. So there we get the finisher of Gamma Future Zetium Drive. Now, obviously that's not it because these three are pretty significant within combinations. So let's get on with that. So obviously we're going to need Tiga and Ultraman. And because for some reason I'm going backwards with the combinations, so we're going to do the orb fusions first because there's actually no Jeet fusions. So there we get Orb's main fusion form, Orb Spacium Superion. And again, in an interesting color combination because it's white, red, and purple. Because typically, I think Spacium Superion was originally yellow and blue. So it's really interesting to see the colors mixed up. The finisher. So there we get the finisher Sparion Coulson. And obviously we have another orb fusion we can do with Tiga and Dyna. There we get, honestly, one of my favorite Ultra Fusion fight forms, Superion Solgent, which is, you can say it's technically the predecessor to Gamma Future. Just thinking about it. obviously generic attack. Okay, so now we need to go back to our Ultraman and Tiga combination. Again, if I wasn't doing this backwards, we wouldn't need to do this, but because I am for some reason, we are. So you want to switch out orb for X because you can do this. So this one's actually new because obviously it's a fusion, or it's a combination that requires 3 Ultramen. So with X, Ultraman, and Tiga, obviously because of the movie, that allows X to transform into Exceed X Beta Spark Armor. And again, a really interesting color combination because it's literally just Space Ninjas and Perions, but replace the white with the green. It's just a really interesting color combination for colors that don't really coordinate with the actual form. So, although I do have to disagree that you just use normal X for this combination, this is still nice overall. And for the finisher, there we get the finisher for, I think, the Beta Spark Sword or the Arrow. One of those two finishers. I'm going to say the Arrow. And yeah, that's actually it for finishers. Or that's actually it for combinations. Obviously, these 3 have a lot more combinations, especially like Gaia. And these 3 have a lot more combinations, we just don't have the medals. So overall with this set, it's good. Like there's not a lot to it, but you know, this is like a perfect trio of medals for obvious reasons, because these 3 were essentially the like you know, they're the starters, they're the Heisei trilogy. Or technically they're the Tiga Dyna Gaia trilogy. But they're often paired together just because of how similar they are, even though only Tiga and Dyna are actually connected, because Dyna is a sequel to Tiga, but like this is like just kind of a really nice like trio. Yeah, I do prefer when they actually do mix it up a bit, but honestly with this series it doesn't really seem like they like mixing up their combinations. But other than that, this is a really nice trio of medals. You have honestly one of my favorite Z forms, or probably like one of the few that we actually have, because I just love the transformation, and obviously we're able to do a lot of combinations. So like these, so that's like fine on me. But obviously we'll get more combinations when we get more medals. So this is PowerRider, and I'll leave you people.